Excuse me, sir, is this the Delta House?
Sure. Come on in.
They have cold beer and action on the game.
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
It's time for the Degenerates Next Door.
Dollar bills, y'all.
I'm not one for hyperbole, but this could be the greatest night of our lives tonight.
No!
My name is Jason Hammer. I do the Hammer and Nigel show in Indianapolis, alongside fellow radio host, former elected official and tax-cutting machine, Rob Kendall. Rob, it's my birthday today.
Happy birthday!
48 years ago today, God graced America with the sexiest dude who's got back fat in America.
Now, you were conceived in the blizzard?
Yes, the big blizzard in Indiana in 77.
Yeah, okay, so I say this about you, that you look pretty much the same as when I met you 20-plus years ago. You're just much fatter now.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
But other than that, I mean, I don't feel like you've aged very much at all, which is a real
I still got
gift.
my boyish charm,
Yeah.
right? So understand this. At the time of this podcast, which is around noon on a Tuesday here, I'm not in the mood for losses. Of all days on the calendar, I am not in the mood for losses. We are not going to have a shitty round of betting on my birthday tonight.
Getting the profanities out of the way early. Good job.
That being said, I want action.
I want action tonight. Satisfaction all night.
I'm not in love with this Thursday game, though, Rob. Like all of that bluster that I just gave you, it's going to be the best night of our lives. I just am not in love with this game because the 49ers are the walking wounded. So what do you do with a team that's really wounded, with a long injury report, but also has a history of playing their division rival pretty well? And that's what we're looking at tonight. Thursday night football, the 49ers at the Rams. The Rams around an 8 to an 8.5 point home favorite here. The over-under is setting at 44 to 45, depending on where you're looking at. And again, broken record, we say this all the time, shop around. Find the number that's best for you. If you are not wed to a specific sports book, then shop around. You can't call yourself a degenerate if you don't have multiple accounts open where they give you the best promotion or you find better numbers. And this is an example of what I'm talking about. The total on this game, if you look around, you're going to find it anywhere from 44 to 45. That extra point is a big deal because raise your hand if you've ever been screwed by just 1 point. I know my hand is in the air right now. So I found 45 on Bet Rivers. You guys do you, but at the time of this podcast, again, noon on Thursday, I've got 45 at Bet Rivers on the 49ers at the Rams, and I am taking the under tonight. Going with the under tonight. Look, the 49ers are just so banged up. And honestly, I don't necessarily think it matters who the quarterback is, if it's Brock Purdy, if it's Mac Jones. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but it's not just the quarterbacks. So many dudes are banged up, and you've also got a Rams team that, let's be honest, they put up big stats for fantasy, but they don't light the scoreboard up. Here in Indy, we just saw the Rams have Matthew Stafford have big passing yards. Puka Nacua have the most receiving yards he's ever had, and they barely beat the Colts, didn't score 30 points. It's not like the Rams are putting up 30 and 40 burgers. It's not the greatest show on turf, Rams, despite them putting up some numbers. And each of the Rams' last 5 home games, when they've been the favorite, like they are tonight, have gone under the total. It's a division matchup. These teams know each other. I think it's close. I think you're going to see a lot of running. And I think you're going to see the under. We're going under 45 tonight, Rob.
I like it because, if the Rams put up 28, the 49ers, even if they got to 17, that'd be a push.
Just a push, right? And this is the importance of that 45, right? So if you can find the 45, get it right now. 44 is close. I still think I would take the under in this one. I just don't know how many points the 49ers are going to give you. I just don't know how many points they're going to put on the board tonight. And it's not because the Rams are putting up big numbers either. They've got great skill players, but man, it's a short week. They're beat up. It was kind of an emotional grinder for the Rams, too. They had to sneak out a win against the Colts, came down to the last minute. So we're going to take the under on Thursday. So coming up a little bit later on, when we visit the prop shop, I've got a couple prop bets for this game. We'll revisit that here in just a little bit. All right, the game of the week. And let's be honest, Rob, this is kind of a turd slate of games.
Stinks. They all stink.
Stinky college slate.
Yeah, bad week.
Stinky NFL slate.
Probably one of those weeks I got to go do something with my family. Get it out of the way.
You almost went full Brian Kelly and had the southern accent with family.
I mean, don't you? Isn't this the week to get the weekend to get the stuff done? Don't you plan your family? Because you got to do it as a father. You got to do so much family stuff. You go ahead and do it now. That way you're not really missing anything.
True. But you also tell the wife, tell the better half, as we get close to football season, listen, I'm your bitch for the next couple of weeks. But once Sunday at 1 o'clock happens, we're not going to the pumpkin patch. We're not going to Home Depot. I'm not cutting the grass. I am going to sit my big fat ass on the couch. I'm going to eat chicken wings and pizza, maybe chili. I'm going to have beer.
Just throwing it all in there.
And I'm going to watch football. I will watch Red Zone, and I will watch my team. After football season is over, wife, better half, I'm your bitch once again. That's the way we do things in the Hammer House.
I love you threw the chili in there.
Chili's good. Love chili. All right, so the game of the week is a battle of two teams, 3-1. It is Tampa Bay at Seattle. Seattle, a little rested. They played the Thursday game last week, and here comes Tampa Bay. They come in just an emotional, crazy game against Philadelphia, a chaotic comeback late that falls a little short, and now they're flying cross country. Rob, what do we make of this one? I'm looking at the line right now, and I see Seattle as a 3 to a 3.5 point favorite. Again, shop around, find the best number, and the over-under sitting at 44.5.
Well, whatever I do with Baker Mayfield is wrong. Pick on him to win, they lose.
Is he the guy that beats you every time?
Well, I think you're in this boat, too.
Yeah, but I still feel like Row Your Boat guy from Minnesota is the captain of screws me every time.
Yeah.
Minnesota football. Bet him to win, they lose. Bet him to lose, they win. Row the damn boat guy beats me every time.
Okay, so I can't really do anything related to that. So I figured, Baker Mayfield to score a lot of points. Seattle's offense, surprisingly good sometimes. They got some dudes.
They're pretty balanced.
Yeah, whatever I do, it's probably going to be wrong anyway. I'll just go over 44.5 points and cheer for some offense.
I love how confident you are. I'm probably going to be wrong anyway. Like, I can literally hear everybody listening to this podcast going, why do I let this guy talk?
Because I told you the Europeans are going to kick the snot out of the Americans at the Ryder Cup, and I can live off those losses for the rest of the year, pal.
And you also got a number of balling on a budgets, correct?
That's correct. Yeah. I got enough to be passable on everything but the golf, so occasionally I'm going to get something right.
So you're over 44.5 here, Tampa Bay at Seattle.
That's right.
I'm going to lay the 3 with Seattle.
Ooh.
And again, at the time of this podcast, I see 3. It's probably going up to 3.5 if it hasn't already. I love Seattle in the spot. More rest at home, and they're pretty balanced. I mean, they get enough running out of the committee, and Sam Darnold can chuck it down the field. So I will lay the 3. This is just a tough spot for Tampa Bay. I think they're beat up after that physical game against Philly, and now they're flying cross country, and Seattle's a tough place to play. So I will lay the 3 with the Seahawks here. I'm 6-2 so far in the NFL.
Dang.
So I say that because I'm due for a horrific fall.
But here's the thing. You've been so bad in college. Hasn't it already balanced itself out?
So I started bad in college, but we've hit 4 of the last 6.
Oh?
So we're starting to tread back. Now, that's how bad my start was in college. I've hit 4 of the last 6, and I'm just now digging myself out of the hole.
Yeah.
But my NFL year has been pretty good, which means I'm due to just absolutely crap my pants. But I feel pretty good about Seattle laying the 3. I would actually take it to 3.5 if I had to. I feel like they win this by 4 or more.
I feel like Baker Mayfield, trying to bet on Baker Mayfield, it's like the hottest, most crazy chick you could possibly date, where some of the time it's just amazing, but then there's just hell on earth, and you gotta is the amazing worth the hell on earth? And I just hate betting Baker Mayfield games. So thank you for making me bet a Baker Mayfield game.
This feels like it's become a therapy session. Like, tell me about some of the chicks you used to plow in Broad Ripple, Rob, because it kind of feels like you're talking about Baker Mayfield. All right. Coming up next, our professional handicappers, Kenny Britt of KB Sports and David Stephanoff of followneverfade.com. We'll get their thoughts on Seattle and Tampa and let them pick any other game they want. They are coming up next. Back on the Degenerates Next Door, I'm Jason Hammer, and I was wondering if Kenny Britt of KB Sports was going to join us today. I didn't know if he was in mourning after his Cincinnati Reds had what may have been the worst playoff performance of any team in a major sport in years, Kenny. We were texting last night, and we'll get to your NFL picks in just a moment. We were texting last night. I know you're a fan of the Reds, but was that the worst playoff team that we've seen, not just in Major League Baseball, but maybe in professional sports in recent memory?
They'd have to be in the conversation. There's no doubt about that. They would have to be in the conversation.
Because I know Seattle won a division when they were under 500 a number of years ago, but they ultimately won a playoff game too.
Yeah, but in the NFL, I think we've had a couple division winners with losing records. Maybe not in the last couple of years, but I know that's happened, let's say, in the last decade. But just their performance in general. I mean, the games are over by the 3rd or 4th inning. But like you said last night in our texting, if you would have said in April, "Hey, would you take it?" I'd be like, "Hell yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it in a heartbeat." And they've got a lot of young talent, so we'll see how they develop over the course of the winter, and maybe next year, a little bit bigger of a run. Who knows?
And if they could play the Cubs for 162 games, they'd be undefeated. So, all right.
Yeah, right.
Let's get down to business here. Again, Kenny Britt of KB Sports, the owner, the man that makes it all happen. We've given you the game of the week this week on what's kind of a ass slate of games, right?
Oh, my God, it is.
Really not a signature game, but we've tabbed it Tampa Bay at Seattle. Both teams are 3-1. Depending on where you look, I'm seeing Seattle as a 3-point home favorite. It's a 3.5 spot. Other books, 44.5 is the total. You got to play on this, Kenny?
I do. 2 things real quick. Number one, let's all wish Jason Hammer a happy birthday. I'm sure Rob's already done it. Maybe he broke out his $2 bill and got you a little present. I'm not sure about that.
Rob's not spending money on anybody but himself, and he sure as hell isn't spending a whopping $2, Kenny.
Right. Secondly, man, just real quick, these penalties in college and NFL is horrible. Troy Aikman hit the nail on the head. If it doesn't matter concerning that play, don't throw the flag. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's not fun to watch the games right now, man. I mean, every other, not just the accepted penalties, but the amount of penalty flags, you probably get 20% that's not even accepted. There's 30 flags being thrown a game. That's almost every other play.
It takes away from the entertainment value. It does. It really does.
It does. So anyway, that's my little soapbox real quick. So, yeah, Tampa Bay, Seattle, like you said, it's a pretty bad slate for the NFL. I think that's the second week we've said that this year already. Baker Mayfield, he's one of those guys when he first came out, to be a pretty big good player at Oklahoma. We all kind of hated him. He was a pretty big douchebag. But over the course of time, me anyway, I'm not sure how you feel, but I kind of like the guy. I like to watch him play.
Dudes can change
Everybody-
over time, Kenny. They have.
Yeah.
This is kind of my theory on Bryce Harper in baseball. Like when Bryce Harper first came into the league, he put all the eye black on, was a big, arrogant pain in the ass. Now that he's a little bit older and he's just kind of a red ass and he wants to win, I'm actually all right. I've kind of done a 180 on Bryce Harper.
Yeah, and I'm the same way with Baker. I enjoy watching him play. Everybody says he's a great teammate. When he got his big contract last year, he went and took all of his offensive linemen out and went and played video games with them. So he's just a dude, you know. He's just a football player now. So I really enjoy watching him play. The game itself, Seattle's good at home. They've got a really good defense at home. Tampa Bay is a little banged up, so I know that the play that I'm getting ready to give you, Jason, might not make sense, but it's just too good to not play it. You can find this on DraftKings and FanDuel. I'm taking Tampa Bay first half over 9.5 points. That's just a touchdown and a field goal. It seems like Tampa Bay always has a way. They got so many receivers. I know Mike Evans is out, but Godwin's back and Bucky Irving's a good running back, good receiver. So I'm going to stay away from the game itself as far as a side or a total on the full game, but I really like Tampa Bay getting or over 9.5 in the first half.
All right, Tampa Bay team total over 9.5 first half. I like it, man.
Sir.
We're getting down into the weeds here. All right. Let's keep this thing rolling, man. Let's keep it rolling. I'll give you the option to pick any other game on this poor slate of games that we have to choose from here.
Right. I'm going with Denver at Philly. I just saw when I was sort of handicapping this week for NFL, A.J. Brown's at it again. I guess Sunday after the game, he made a tweet about it was from a Bible verse about if you're not accepted, if you're not wanted, if you're not heard, if you're not listened to, it's time to go. Well, he's crying.
Now, he's denied that was about his Eagles teammates, Kenny, and I guess we have to believe him, right?
Yeah, right. Jason, do you know what he gets for 14 catches this year? You know what he still gets?
What's that?
His $96 million.
Woo!
So shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? You know, last year he threw his little temper tantrum on the bench reading a book during the game. I think there's something going on. Yes, Philadelphia's 4-0. And 4-0 in the NFL is 4-0. It's hard to do. But, you know, they beat a bad Kansas City team 3 weeks ago by 3.
See, I don't think that's a bad Kansas City team, though. Like
I think it was when they played them. When they played them, it was a bad team. Yeah.
A win in Kansas City, though, with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback's never a bad win.
Right. But then they struggled against the Rams. The Rams had them down pretty good. All their games have been pretty close. There just seems to be something wrong in Philadelphia. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But they're not blowing anybody out. They don't look dominant. Denver's had 2 close losses. One was here to Indianapolis. I like Denver. I like what they're doing. They got Bo Nix, a good quarterback. They've got a good 1-2 punch at running back with Harvey and Dobbin. I just like everything Denver's doing. I'm getting 4.5 on FanDuel. The games are too close at Philly. I'm taking 4.5 in Denver, man. And I'm going to even sprinkle some money line at plus 166. I like Denver. I think they might win this game outright. Something just, to me, tell me your thoughts, something just seems amiss in Philadelphia.
See, I'm on the opposite side there. I think Philly is one of those teams that can overcome a diva wide receiver because they've got other good receiving options. It's not like if, one guy's acting like a horse's ass, the passing game shuts down. No, they can just get more balls to another receiver. They can hit more tight ends. They can run the ball a little bit. I'm all right with Philly. I think their 4-0 is 4-0, but I'm with you. I think 4.5 is a lot of points for a Denver squad that, depending on which Sunday you see them, can either look really good or Bo Nix can look like the guy that spent 1,000,000 years in college.
That is true. And also, coaching, I'm a Sean fan. So yeah, I'm on Denver plus the 4.5. And I'm going to sprinkle a little money line on it. I just like Denver. I just something to me seems amiss in Philly. We'll see. Like I said, they're 4-0, and 4-0 in the NFL is 4-0. It's not that easy to do. So we'll see. But I do like Denver, and I do like them quite a bit on Sunday.
All right, so Kenny is going to take Tampa Bay's first half team total over 9.5, and then Denver catching 4.5 at Philly. If somebody wants to become a client of yours, if they want the NFL, the college football, the baseball playoffs, hell, NBA preseason begins today. Where can they go?
Yeah, I think that game will start before this podcast is actually posted. So that's unbelievable that it's already going on. Find me on Facebook, KB Sports. Do baseball, basketball, college and pro, football, college and pro, horse racing. We're a month away, but the Breeders' Cup is the first Friday and Saturday in November. It's the biggest 2 days of the year. There's $35 million worth of purses. So we'll get into that late in the month, but just have that in the back of your mind. Everything's on Facebook, KB Sports. Happy birthday to Jason Hammer. Let's all have a big weekend this weekend. I think we all pretty much had a pretty good weekend last weekend. Things might be evening out a little bit. The first 3 weeks was a bloodbath for the general public.
Right.
I think we're getting back to a little more even keel. So let's all crush the books this weekend, Jason.
My man, I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
So we go from one professional handicapper to another. The guy behind followneverfade.com, one of our favorites, David Stephanoff, professional handicapper. And David, the game of the week that everybody's picking around here, Seattle, Tampa Bay. Depending on which book you're looking at, you're seeing Seattle -3. There's some 3.5s out there. Over under sitting right around 44.5, depending on where you look. Again, we always say shop around. It's not a great slate of games this week, David, but what are your thoughts on Tampa Bay at Seattle?
Thank you, Hammer, for having me. I wore the golden sombrero. Let me remind everybody, I wore the golden sombrero last week, 0-4. So
you admit it, though. You know what? Not a lot of professional handicappers would go on a podcast, a radio show, social media, and own it the way that you do.
I will do it. That's what I do for a living, so I have to own everything. Because if you win more than you lose, transparency is what you have to do in this business. But we got a horrible schedule in NFL this week. Absolutely horrible. We got the Saints and Giants. My ugly game, Panthers, Miami. But this one might be a pretty good game, but I think it's going to be a one-sided game here, Hammer. I think it's really going to be one-sided.
So what are we leaning here? I've got my play on Seattle -3. I like Seattle at home, Seattle with more rest. This is just a tough spot for Tampa Bay, coming off just an emotional grinder against Philadelphia and then having to fly out west for a more rested squad. I love the Seahawks in this one. What about you?
I'm matching with you this week. I like Seattle -3 here. They've won 3 in a row. Extra day off. They beat Arizona. Arizona's not very good, but this tough spot for Tampa Bay. I know. I hate betting against Baker. You cannot. I mean, when I bet on him, you're getting your money's worth. I just think it's a bad spot. Seattle's a tough place to play, man. That's a hard place to play up there in Seattle. I love laying the 3 here. Like I said, Seattle's won 3 in a row. Cross country for Tampa. They don't. They don't travel. I mean, they don't travel bad, but this is not a game. I think, especially they're down to injuries. A lot of injuries here. Mike Evans still ain't playing. I do have a little prop play here. If Bucky Irvin does play, Hammer, real quick. Let me throw it out for everybody there. Bucky Irvin over 3.5 receptions. The reason I like this, he's on my fantasy team. He gets me points every week, and I just seen this. I followed the last 2 weeks his reception total. It was 2.5 last week. It's 3.5 last 2.5 2 weeks ago. 3.5 last 2 weeks. He's got 4 every game. He's got 6 twice. I like Bucky Irvin if he plays over 3.5 receptions. But my play here for the podcast, I'm laying the 3 with Seattle. If you got to shop around, you probably have to shop around, lay the 3. But if you have to, buy the hook, lay the 3 with Seattle Seahawks. I think it's a one-sided game here. Seattle's got running will run all over Tampa. They got 2 good running backs. Lay the points with Seattle here.
All right, so you say it's possibly a one-sided game. I like Seattle in this one as well. Would you be willing to lay 3.5? Because I know 3.5s are out at some sports books.
I think if you're going to get 3, you better get it now because close to game time, the public's going to play the favorite. But Vegas the Sharps already been here on Seattle. They already moved it to 3.5 early. The money line's way too high for this. It's almost a minus 200 for this game. So yeah, I would buy the hook. I would buy the hook maybe minus 120 and lay the Seattle minus 3.
Okay, so listen, I don't like to buy the hook. That's where we differ.
You're anti-buying the hooks. I know. I'm in the chat group. I hate to do it. Sometimes key numbers, though, in football, I think you have to, Hammer. Sometimes it might save you from a push to the loss.
You're right, and you're the professional, and I'm not. But I always thought, like, if you have to buy the hook, then you're probably on the wrong side. You should probably take the other side to make the more money as opposed to buying it. But I feel like this is a game where Seattle could win by 4. They could win by 6.
You're right.
They could win by a touchdown. Right.
I just don't want to lose if it lands on 3. That's the only thing.
That's
a key number.
That's
my spot there.
It's like buying the insurance in blackjack. I don't do that either, but sometimes I probably should.
Right.
All right. Give me another game. You can pick any game on the slate.
I'm going back to the well. We had 2 weeks ago, I gave you the Panthers plus 6 at home versus the Falcons, and they beat them 30-0. Now the Panthers are sitting at home waiting on these Miami Dolphins. Boy, these are some world beaters for the Miami Dolphins. Without Tyreek Hill, I think they'll be a better team maybe without Tyreek Hill, but it's a horrible spot for Miami. The coach is already on the hot seat already against the Jets, who Jets are horrible. I know the Panthers ain't nothing to run home about, but, hey, they're good at home. They'll show up. The line right now is one of them getting to 1.5. It's stuck on this all week long. I don't need the 1.5. I'm on the Carolina Panthers money line to beat the Dolphins at home Sunday. That's my number one VIP play for you guys free this week. Panthers money line over the Dolphins.
There we go. We don't need your stinking points. We are going money line with the Panthers.
Favorite here.
Love
this
it.
Line was 1.5. This line was 1.5 though before Tyreek Hill got hurt, and it really hasn't budged off. It's been 1 some places, so just let everybody know that.
All right. So Panthers money line right now, minus 105 in that neighborhood right there, depending on where you're looking at. So, get a little bit more money. If you're going to take the Panthers plus 1, plus 1.5, you're probably looking at minus 112, minus 115. Might as well go money line. Get a few extra bucks at minus 105. All right, David, if somebody wants to become a client of yours, we've got the NFL going on, college football, Major League Baseball playoffs, which you have been rolling, all of that stuff. How can we find you?
Hey, Hammer, don't you forget the NBA preseason starts tonight.
Hell yeah, it's already underway, baby. Preseason NBA.
Is here. NBA is less than 3 weeks away, and college basketball is 32 days away. It's going to be nuts. Anyways, if you follow me everywhere, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you can sign up for my VIP, sign up for my football package. You get baseball and tennis free for the rest of the year. As Hammer said, I've been phenomenal so far in the Major League Baseball playoffs. We're 7-1 so far. I'm not going to toot my horn. But we win way more than we lose. Like I said, basketball's here. We'll be here soon. Thank you, Hammer, the captain of the ship, Rob Kendall, Kenny Britt. Have a great week, and if you need to sign up for VIP, message directly. Like I said, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. I'm easy to get a hold of. A lot of people reach out to me. Thank you again, Hammer, and don't forget to follow Never Fade.
All right, you've heard from our professional handicappers, but we are not done passing out free plays. No. We are going to take a little trip to the prop shop, and Mr. Monday Night will saunter back into the studio. Rob's got some action on Monday. That's coming up next. We are the Degenerates Next Door. Back on the Degenerates Next Door. Make sure you've got your wallet, grab your phone, get in the car. We're heading down to the prop shop.
I'll take you to the
prop
shop. I'll let you lick the lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. Keep on going till you hit the
prop. We start with tonight. Thursday night football. We are on Christian McCaffrey. Over 54.5 yards receiving. Somebody has got to get the football for the 49ers. They're beat up. They're banged up. They've got to put the ball in the hand of their best playmaker. Over 54.5 yards receiving. Let's look at his targets in the first 4 games. Just targets. 10, 7, 15, and 11. So if you think the 49ers are going to have to dink and dunk to move the chains, that's your huckleberry. Look at his yards receiving first 4 games. 73, 52, 88, 92. We're going to ride the Lightning. Christian McCaffrey over 54.5 yards receiving tonight. And Rob, here's a little plus money for tonight. Devontae Adams, anytime touchdown.
Ooh.
Anytime touchdown, you can get that right around plus 125. I like plus money. And he's got 9 red zone targets this year. That leads the league. Now, he doesn't have many red zone catches, but Stafford's looking for him in the red zone. That's all I'm asking for is an opportunity. Give me Devontae Adams anytime touchdown tonight.
I wouldn't have even been able to tell you what team he was on.
Oh, really?
Like, I knew he was on the Raiders.
Scored a touchdown against the Colts last week.
Went to the Jets.
He's still good. And I hope he does have that Taco Bell in his house because I think that's such a power move. If the commercial is real, like, I hope that is real. That's such a power move to have a Taco Bell in your house. Games for this weekend. We're going to go back to Jackson Smith-Njigba.
You love him.
Over 84.5 receiving yards. Dak Prescott, under 246.5 against the Jets. And because he did not throw one last weekend, I don't see Jackson Dart going 2 NFL starts and not throwing 1 pick. Rookie quarterbacks don't do that in the NFL. Over 0.5 interceptions for Jackson Dart this upcoming weekend. Those are my picks at the prop shop. Now, if you're just a cheap, horrible bastard, if you're, I don't know, Rob Kendall.
That's right.
And you only bet $1 or $2, but you want a big payoff so you can brag to your friends, we've got you covered. We bring in Rob for Ballin' on a Budget.
This happens to be a $100 minimum bet table. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at one of our lower stakes tables.
Oh! All right, you cheapskates. It's time for Rob Kendall's Ballin' on a Budget.
Very tight with $1.
How can we take very little and get a full day's worth of entertainment and also double that money at the very least, Rob?
Well, funny you ask, Hammer, because if you take the Ballin' on the Budget and all these hit, you'll be able to start at 9 in the morning and go all the way until 11 in the evening.
That's right. That's right. Let's go. I'm not doing anything at home this weekend.
All right, so here we go. We start with, what country are they in this time? Is it France, Dublin?
Gold jacket, green jacket.
Germany, wherever they're playing. Minnesota's playing the Browns in a foreign country. I know that. And that's the early game. We're going with Minnesota minus 190 on the money line. Then we got the Cardinals taking on the Titans, minus 450 on the money line. The Lions, minus 3.5 at the Bengals. So we're buying this down to 3.5.
Oh, you're buying down.
I think it's 10.5 is the actual spread. Minus 295. And the Bills, we're buying this one down, minus 2.5 at the Patriots, minus 350. So we got Minnesota money line, Cardinals money line, Lions buying down to 3.5, Bills buying down to 2.5. You put them all together, you get plus 221. $10 bet pays you $22.12.
If you got to buy it down, you're on the wrong side. If you got to buy it down, you're on the wrong side.
I'm just trying to get you a whole day of entertainment for $10.
And the game's in London, Rob.
London. I knew it was in some foreign country.
But that's not all of the NFL action. No. We've got, I think, a pretty interesting matchup on Monday night, and that means we need Mr. Monday Night to bring us home, Rob. Trevor Lawrence versus Patrick Mahomes. Jags, Chiefs. I still don't know if Trevor Lawrence is any good or not. Guy's been in the league for a number of years. We're about, approaching the halfway mark of the NFL year. Still don't know if he's any good or not.
Here's what we're doing. The Chiefs are laying 3, and I'm going with the Chiefs, and here's why. Taylor Swift has an album coming out Friday. So if I got to watch this game, and I got to hear 9 million times about Taylor Swift and her album, and maybe she'll be at the game, which means I'll also have to see her 9 million times, then I'm going to cheer for the Chiefs. I'm going to try to make some money on this endeavor. Now, I would sooner cut my arm off normally than cheer for the Chiefs, but if I got to be subjected to it, I'm going to try to make a few bucks in the process. So I'm going to take the Chiefs, who looked much better. Now, the Ravens may stink, as weird as that seems to say out loud.
And Lamar Jackson banged up. So there's that. But they were whipping the Ravens' ass before Lamar went out.
Yeah. So We're going to do this. We're going to hope Trevor Lawrence isn't actually any good, which is weird. 4 or 5 years in, we still don't know whether he's any good or not. But I'm going to take the Chiefs laying the 3.
The demise of the Chiefs, like everybody burying them, may have been a little premature.
Yeah.
A little premature. It's been a brutal schedule for Kansas City, but I'm with you on this
Same
one.
record as the Bears, big boy.
Stop it. Stop
They
it.
got the same record.
I love in our text thread that we have with the professional handicappers and the other degenerates here, you were complaining that the game of the week is between 2 3-1 teams, Tampa and Seattle. You're the only one that complained about that game. You watch the Bears every week, and yet you're complaining that 2 teams 3-1. I don't want to have to watch that game. You watch the Bears every week. It's like watching a couple people going out in the backyard throwing a football around. So cut the crap.
That was a hell of a game they had last week, all the way down to the final play.
It did. It did go down to the final play. Do you find yourself rooting for them to win or lose? It's still early enough in the season where maybe they could turn around, but I think you're a guy that understands they're still not very good. So do you want a better draft choice?
Oh, I just want to win the bets because they're losers anyway. It's not like they're going to win it all or even make the playoffs, so I might as well just get it out of the way. I will always cheer for my bet, Jason Hammer.
So there are 2 different types of Bear fans, right? There's the perpetual, it's always 1985 guy.
Yeah.
Like if the Bears win the opener, oh my God, it's 1985. I'm going to go snort some sausage. And then there's the guys like you where if they do win, you're almost like Randy Quaid's character in Major League 2. They'll blow it. They're not any good.
Well, look at who they've beaten. They've beaten the Cowboys and the Raiders. I mean,
I don't think the Cowboys are awful. The Cowboys have at least a competent quarterback that can move the chains. They can't stop anybody, but they can put some points up.
Look, the Bears are going to break my heart eventually. I'd rather just win the money. That being said, we're 2-2, which is the same record as the Chiefs, big boy.
For Rob Kendall.
Happy birthday.
And Kenny Britt of KB Sports, David Stephanoff of Fall and Never Fade. I'm Jason Hammer. I have to get the hell away from this lunatic. Good luck, everybody. We will talk to you Tuesday for the college football betting show. Until then, may the odds be ever in your favor.